Chapter 16. Strategic Maneuvers, Putting the Plan in Place. A plan begins to form. Welcome back to our journey with young Tribhuvan. For 10 long years, Tribhuvan had carried one dream in his heart, diksha, the dream of leaving behind worldly life and walking the path of a monk. And now, at last, that dream felt closer than ever before. It happened during a special time, the Chomasa, the 4-month rainy season retreat of Panyas Shri Danvijayji Maharaj. This period in the year 1912 became the perfect opportunity. The pieces were finally starting to come together. But Tribhuvan knew something important. This would not be easy. The shadow hanging over him. Tribhuvan knew his family would be furious when they found out. Why? Because of what had already happened before. His uncle, Tarachand, had gone so far as to publish a notice about Tribhuvan in a newspaper called Sayaji Samachar. Everyone still remembered it. And there was even a bigger problem. Tribhuvan was only 17. By law, he was still a minor. And if his diksha happened anywhere inside the state of Baroda, it wouldn't just upset his family. It would become a police case, a crime. Now, think about this for a moment. If a child wants to become an engineer, a doctor, a dancer, or a singer, parents push them to start young. Some children, as young as 5, are made to practice for hours, again and again, just so they can shine and win competitions. But if a child feels a deep pull towards spirituality, towards a life of peace and devotion, that is never even seen as a real choice. Isn't that strange? The Guru who saw a diamond. In Tribhuvan's heart, his Guru was Manoeuvres Shri Danvijayji Maharaj. But there was someone even more important behind the scenes. Danvijayji's own Guru, a senior monk named Panyas Shri Danvijayji Maharaj. Before becoming a monk himself, Danvijayji Maharaj had once worked in the police department in a village called Jinjuvada. He was known for one thing above all, his iron willpower. Nothing could shake him once he made up his mind. And just like a skilled jeweler can spot a flawless diamond at a single glance, Danvijayji Maharaj looked at young Tribhuvan and saw something rare, a future treasure for the Jain community. He decided then and there, no matter what, this boy must receive diksha. Not even the fear of police could stop him. Because, along with his courage, the senior monk also had something else, a sharp strategic mind, and he was about to use it. After finishing the Chomasa in the town of Padra, Panyas Shri Danvijayji Maharaj and Manoeuvres Shri Danvijayji Maharaj travelled to Baroda. There, they stayed at a place called the Kothi Pol Upashray, a resting place for monks. Danvijayji Maharaj also had deep knowledge of astrology. Using this, he carefully studied the calendar and chose a special date, Posh Shud Teras, which in the year 1969 of the Vikram calendar fell on January 20th, 1913. This would be the day. But there was a problem. Baroda was too dangerous. If diksha happened there, the police case would begin immediately. So a different place was chosen, a town called Jambusar. Why Jambusar? Because Danvijayji Maharaj's own Guru, a respected monk named Pujya Veer Vijayji Maharaj, was already there, along with some of his disciples. He was given full responsibility to carry out Tribhuvan's diksha quietly, away from prying eyes. This entire plan was kept a closely guarded secret. Only a handful of monks knew it. Just enough people to make it happen, and not one more. But even Jambusar had its risk. It wasn't a big city like Baroda. So, there was no police danger there. But it was a small town, and Tribhuvan had distant relatives living nearby. If even one of them heard a whisper of what was happening, they could create chaos at the very last moment. So, one final decision was made. Tribhuvan's diksha would happen in a small, quiet village near Jambusar, somewhere nobody would think to look. Here was the plan, step by step. Tribhuvan would leave his hometown of Padra on Posh Sud Ekadashi, 2 days before the big day. From there, he would travel to a place called Masar Road and then onward to Jambusar, where Upadhyay Veer Vijayji Maharaj was waiting. If everything went smoothly, his diksha would take place exactly on Teras, January 20th, 1913, just as the stars had foretold. But everyone knew the risk. If word leaked out, if Tribhuvan's family somehow learned where he was and rushed to the venue, the entire ceremony could fall apart in chaos. And yet, Upadhyay Veer Vijayji Maharaj did not hesitate for even a moment. He had given his word and he was ready to carry that weight, no matter how great the danger. The final missing piece. There was just one more thing the plan needed. When someone becomes a monk, they need special items, simple white robes, and a few basic belongings, called the Ubdi and Upkarans. Someone had to bring these items quietly without raising any suspicion, and that person had to be someone who could be trusted completely, someone who would never let the secret slip. For this important task, Danvijayji Maharaj chose a devoted layman named Jamnadas Ramdas Kothari from Kothipol. Jamnadas was no ordinary helper. He was a deeply faithful Shravak, a lay devotee who had once organized a pilgrimage to the sacred Samit Shikhar under the guidance of another respected monk, Acharya Shri Vijay Kamal Surisorji Maharaj. When asked to take on this secret responsibility, Jamnadas didn't hesitate. He said yes, gladly. And just like that, every piece of the plan was now in place. The date was fixed. The place was chosen. The trusted helper was ready. The senior monks were prepared to take on great risk for one boy's dream. But one question still lingered in the air. Would the secret hold? We'll find out together in our next chapter. Until then, end of chapter 16.